welcome. This is the 6 yard box. Welcome to the 6 yard box, and yeah, this is 6 yard reacts, and yeah, this is looking back on the fight over the weekend between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk. The fight was billed up as one of the fights of the year 2005. This is a rematch after Usyk beat Dubois earlier on. I think it was a couple of years back, and the fight was had a lot of controversies attached to it because Dubois was allegedly, not allegedly, but actually allegedly because it looked like a low blow, but Usyk claimed that he hit him below the belt, and there was a lot of controversy about that fight a couple of years back. This one was another rematch. Alexander Usyk, you know, my eyes, one of the best boxers of his generation. This guy is just a different animal. And yeah, he was back in the ring on Saturday. Watched the fight. It was a it was a, how am I gonna put it? It was just a different. It was just class all round from Alexander Usyk. This guy is just a different animal, and you know, coming into the fight, I never once thought Daniel Dubois had any chance. I thought if I was gonna go the distance, I must be honest. I thought I was gonna go the distance. Maybe towards the later rounds, Usyk were winning because I've seen him box so many times, and this guy is just different class, man. He's a counter punching machine. The more money you put in it, the more it gives you. he, he throws a lot of punches out, and he's just very crafty, very very clever footwork. The way he moves like an heavyweight that most people have never seen. So quick to move, never pin him down. He's always moving around, taking up different angles. His jabs are like, they're just like right hooks or left hooks, man. His jabs are, because jabs normally comes from your weaker, weaker hand. If you're a southpaw, your jab comes from your right. If you're an orthodox boxer, your jab comes from your left. And he's just incredible. And from the first couple of rounds, I'm not gonna go into details about all the rounds, but from the rounds, you can see Daniel Dubois trying to put pressure on, and Alexander Usyk just met him in the middle of the ring. It was tough for this young champion Dubois. I was gonna say he's never faced anyone like him, but definitely he's never faced anyone like Usyk. I think nobody has faced this guy. He's just a freak of nature, man. To be honest, and the fight was there were exchanges earlier on in the fight, and Usyk, that's what he does. He puts on a lot of pressure towards the end of fights. He does his work. He makes an impression on every round towards the end, and I think he just what's his name, Danny Dubois, just came up against somebody just on a different level, and he, every time you're in the ring with him, he just steps onto another level. And the knockdown came in the fifth round, like when Dubois put on the gas. He thought he was gonna catch him, and the rest was history. And it was tough. It was really tough for Daniel Dubois. And that's what people don't understand. It's easy. I can see people, talking about a lot of stuff after the fight. The knockout punch that caught Daniel was the first knockdown was just a straight jab. I think I missed the first knockdown earlier on in the fight. I'm not sure I saw that one, but the one that knocked him down initially, that one caught him on the temple, the back of his head, I think it was. and it was like a right hook, or was it a jab or something from Usyk's allegedly weak hand. It was his right hand, and Daniel. It didn't look like a powerful punch, but trust me, man, those punches, they count, So when these big guys punch each other, man, somebody's going down. And I think that Daniel Dubois got up and continued the fight, and then you try to exchange there with Usyk, and yeah, I think that was a mistake, to be honest. And yeah, he got caught with a left hook, left was it a cross or hook? I think it was a overhand or whatever, and that ended the fight. But Usyk is just a different class. I think people should acknowledge that. I've seen all this rubbish in the press that Daniel quit the fight. There's a lot of stuff about the preparation and all that kind of stuff. And it's always that, it's typical with the press, the British press or whatever you want to call it, or, people that watch the sports fans in general, but mainly it happens in this country. When you lose a fight or you lose a game of football, they start criticizing everything that you've been doing that has got you the victory in the past, you know. And I was watching something about when the manager, when the trainer Don Charles came forward, and he was saying basically everything they did for this fight, they did exactly the same thing for the previous fights, which they've won. And yes, Daniel got to the event late, which is shouldn't happen, to be honest. But those kind of things happen sometimes, man. Whereby you things don't normally just work out. Sometimes there's always stuff wrong. We've seen it in football games where teams get to the venue late due to reasons, some reasons or whatever, traffic or whatever. They still go on with the game, and sometimes they win the game, sometimes they lose the games. But this narrative about that's the reason why they lost the fight is just rubbish, man. People just talk rubbish, saying you should have carried on. Every boxer is different, and the trainer is there to use his instinct, his judgment at that moment to call the fight, to throw in the towel or to save his boxer. And I will never ever blame a trainer or coach for pulling out his fighter, especially when they've been knocked down. I love boxing. I've watched a lot of boxing as well, and I've been around boxers as well. When they're training, I've been around them as well. It's something that I love to have done as well myself. But my mom wouldn't let me because I was hanging around a lot of boxers way back when I was living in Nigeria. So it's something that I love. I love I love the the sport so much, and for people to be calling somebody, telling them they quit, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy, especially from people that knows a lot about boxing. It's just a little bit, a little bit just sad, to be honest. I know everybody's in the heat of the fight. You want Daniel to win the fight. You want him to carry on, but you can't question the trainer for pulling out his boxer because his instinct at that time tells him, because you're making a judgment in the moment. You're making a judgment on what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and it's just crazy for people. For people to be saying, he didn't want to fight anymore. So yeah, for anybody to step in the ring, you can't label them a quitter. For anybody to actually go to the gym and start training to be a boxer, you can't label them a quitter. Anything you do in life in terms of for you to get up and start doing it, you're not a quitter, to be honest. You're not a quitter because so many people sit back in their house, don't do anything, just sit on watch TV all day, and for you to get up and exercise for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever, an hour, 15 minutes, whatever, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of consistency. It takes a lot of courage, and for people to be calling people quit, that's just very very what do you call it? That's very disappointing, man. And these are all ex-boxers, and they've been in the ring, they've been knocked out as well. They know what it feels like, and it's just really sad. So for me, Daniel is still young, 27 years old. He's got way, 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 way more, fights ahead of him. He could learn from this. He's gonna get stronger from this. He's just up against somebody that's on another level. In any other generation, I think Daniel would have he would have been the champion right now. To be honest, at least holding one of the belts. But where you got this guy, this freak of nature, Alexander Usyk, he's just on a different planet. So yeah, congrats to the champion. He's a very very good boxer. If I was any young boxer coming up now, you know, and you want to be an heavyweight champion of the world, you need to get close to Alexander Usyk. Find a way to get close to his camp, go and train, or watch him train, be around him, learn from him. I hope when he retires, he's going to be a coach or trainer or whatever. You want to go and learn about this guy. This guy is just, he's just incredible, to be honest. And yeah, that's all I just gotta say, guys. I was gonna watch the fight live and stream it and watch it live as well, but it's just one of those that day. Boy, I didn't even know why. I can't even remember why. I should have actually watched it live, to be honest. But I decided not to because it was a last minute thing. Really, I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to watch it before, but I'm glad that I saw that fight because that just shows you there's levels to this, and basically you can prepare as much as you want. You bring your A game to the table. If you meet somebody on another level on the day, and they bring their A game to the table, they're gonna win the fight. That's just the way it is in sports generally. That's the way it is. You can't you can't label the guy quitting or he didn't try or all that kind of stuff, man. That's just a cop out for me. So yeah, congratulations to Usyk one more time. Commiserations to Daniel Dubois, and I wish both of them success in their various career. And it was a great fight, to be honest. Lasted for 5 rounds. I was expecting it to go longer, but the 5 round was just really really good, very very good. And yeah, I think Usyk was just on a different level. So really really glad watched the fight. And yeah, just gotta react to what people have been saying. I'm basically just reacting to the fight as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this for the first time, this is 6IXYARD Reacts. I react to football mainly, boxing as well, and anything in sports generally. That's what we react to. And I just I'm just gonna say my piece. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Watch out for the channel as well. We got loads more stuff coming. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care. God bless.